I'm Jenna the geologist. I teach earth sciences at Santa Barbara City College, and I also work at the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History. We're here at Santa Barbara Junior High looking at some of our schoolyard geology. So you've probably noticed behind me these beautiful foothills and beautiful mountains. These are what we call in this area the Transverse Range. So the Transverse Range are named because they run east to west, which for a mountain range is a little bit unique. Most mountain ranges in the U.S. run from north to south. Think the Rocky Mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, both running north to south. These run east to west, which can help you orient yourself here in Santa Barbara. The mountains are always to the north, and the ocean, unlike other parts on the California coast, the ocean here is always to the south as opposed to being to the west. So if the mountains are to my north, the ocean is to my south, Goleta is to the west, and Montecito is to the east. Specifically right behind me, some things of note that you can see from the schoolyard. Directly behind me is Montecito Peak. And then over here to the left of Montecito Peak would be things like the Cold Spring Trail and Cold Spring Saddle. Even further to the left of that are Arlington Peak, Cathedral Peak, and the highest point in Santa Barbara, which is the Timber Peak, just beyond this ridge over here. All right. Right behind me is the Riviera in the foothills here of Santa Barbara. So the reason that we have the Riviera in the foothills here is that it's being what we would say dissected, which really just means being cut through by a fault. So when we think of faults, normally we think of the San Andreas Fault, which is the really large fault that runs through California and creates a lot of earthquakes and seismic activity. But the San Andreas Fault is by no means the only fault in California. Actually, faults in Santa Barbara are what gives us our very beautiful and really unique topography. They run throughout. So the Mission Ridge Fault runs right behind the foothills here, right behind the Riviera. So if we take a look down here, I've laid out a geologic map. And these geologic maps are a resource that's available to you through the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History. And they basically just show rock formations throughout our region, as well as some geologic features like faults. So if we find ourselves here on the map, here is Santa Barbara Junior High right here. And this is that Riviera that we're looking at, right? So here is the Mission Ridge Fault that runs through Santa Barbara. Comes all the way through here with a sort of like little bit of fingering alongside of it. On every fault, there's something called an up block and a down block, and those are noted on all of these geologic maps by a D and a U, D for down, U for up, right? And so we can see that these foothills, this Riviera here, is the up block of that fault, hence why it's being pushed up relative to the land that we are on right now. We are on the sort of the low-lying down block of a different fault, actually, over here. So we're down lower relative to the Riviera. If we were to go over this hill here, we would be at a lower elevation because we would be on the downside of the Mission Ridge Fault.